Welcome to Guns 101, our video welcome message for new gun owners, brought to you by the Self-Defense Radio Network. I'm Rob Morse from Self-Defense Gun Stories. My partners tonight are Amanda Suffolk from Eye on the Target Radio, and the guy behind the curtain doing that heavy tech, that's Paul Lathrop from the Polite Society podcast. Ken Campbell is with us. Now, he's the CEO from Gunsight Training Academy. He knows a lot. Ken, talk to me about gun shopping.
Well, thanks for that big buildup in there. I don't know I know a lot, but I know what I don't know. I'll tell you, there's a lot of folks been already out there buying guns, and they're going to keep buying them. You know, God bless the Constitution and the Bill of Rights for that. But, you need to do some homework before you walk into some of those gun stores. One of the best things you can do, and I'm not being self-serving here because we're the oldest privately owned and operated training school in the world at 44 years, but get some good training. And when you go to a school, some of those schools, including Gunsight, will rent you a gun for the 3, 4, 5 days of your training. Now, what does that do for you? You think, the school's trying to make some more money. Well, that's not necessarily the case. What we're trying to do is educate you about the gun. So you rent a gun, a Glock 19, a Colt Gunsight pistol, a Smith & Wesson M&P, and you're in that class. The real gun isn't a good fit for me. Well, you haven't spent $500 on the gun, the holster, the magazine pouches, and so on. So you go back and say, hey, can I try the HKVP or something like that? You see what some of the other students are using and what's working and not working. So that might be a good opportunity. Or you can go to some of the local gun ranges, and they can rent some guns there as well and try a few of those and see what fits your hand. One of the worst things you can do, and I just have to grit my teeth when I go into some of the gun stores or some of the gun shows, and especially with a woman that steps up to the counter and the person behind the counter looks at her and says, well, little lady, this is just what you need. And out from the counter comes an airweight 2-inch 357 revolver. And yeah, for carrying that around, that's a good gun. It's light. But you go shoot 500 rounds out of it and tell me what your hand feels like. That's not the kind of gun you want to learn with. That's not a good beginner's gun. So what I'd suggest is get some training and rent a gun. Go to the local gun shop or a gun range. See if they can rent some guns, or you've got friends that have got guns, and find one of those folks and have them bring some guns in. Do some research on the internet. Now, you've got to be real careful when you do that. There's good programs like this one out there. There's also some that are somewhat questionable. So just make sure you vet those programs properly so that the advice you're getting is accurate, reliable, and known advice along in there. Then once you've seen that, then go back to the gun range or make that first trip there and try those different guns. And don't let yourself get talked into something by the person behind the counter that's working off a commission or is getting a special deal by certain manufacturers because they're on sale this week. You just like buying a car. You want to know as much as you can before you walk into the dealership, and that guy says, well, let me go talk to the sales manager first. You do your own research. So you know about what values are and reliability and accuracy of them and what other people are saying about it. If you've got questions, email me at Gunsight. I'm always happy to talk guns with people. I'll give you what my opinion is. Now, that and 75 cents will get you a generic soda out of the machine at Costco, but you'll get my opinion anyway.
Well, I think you've got some good points there. Let's talk about friends that have guns, because non-gun people don't understand that if you call somebody who's a gun enthusiast and you're like, I want to learn, could you bring a couple guns and go to the range? That gun person is going to go into their safe and they're going to pull out everything that they think you may like, and they're going to bring them all. They're going to spread them all out, and they're going to be like, let me tell you about this one, and let me tell you about that one, because they want you to be happy. They want you to love the sport like they love the sport, and so they are so willing to share their knowledge and their tools. my brother Rob, who's my radio partner, he says, the gun world is different than any other thing. If you go to a motorcycle show and you go, or a motorcycle race or any of that, and you're like, that's really cool, can I try it? They look at you like you got two heads. But if you go to the range and you say, that looks really cool, can I try it? People are like, here they are, here it is, and here's some ammo, and here's some more ammo, and go right ahead. So gun people
the most
will
polite people are at gun shows.
They are.
The most
they really
in the world are at gun shows.
There is a whole lot to that, because when they put a gun on, they should be the most polite people and not have an attitude. It kind of all goes together. Ken, one of the other things, an armed society is a polite society. One of the other things that I do is, if I go to the gun counter and there's somebody behind the counter that's a little bit, we'll just say, testy, I point to as many guns as I possibly can and have them put them all out, and then decide which ones I don't like. Because for a new gun owner, it's a whole lot easier when you pick them up to decide which ones you don't like than which one you do like. And so by a process of elimination, they can put 5 or 6 guns out, and you can say, I don't like this feature on this, and I don't like that feature on that, and I don't like this. And you can narrow it down, and then that helps you decide what you want to shoot, what you want to handle, and how you want to do it. So the process of elimination on new gun purchases works. It works pretty decent.
Well, something else you mentioned, when you get a hold of your gun friends and they bring guns out. Something I hate to see on the internet are these funny snippets of people shooting a big bore rifle, shotgun, handgun, and it's very clear they don't know what they have. And the gun jumps out of their hands or comes back and whacks them in the head, and everybody laughs. You know what you did there? All you did was turn somebody who wanted to learn about a gun, you just scared them. And you took an opportunity and you turned it south, and that's not the thing to do. So if you do have that friend, you're that shooting enthusiast, and your friend calls you, that's not the time to bring your Dirty Harry Model 29 gun out with the hot loads and think this will be fun. That's the time to maybe bring a 22 out, let them shoot some rounds out of it, and then work your way up into some other models, so you can truly educate them, so they can be, like Amanda said, that they can learn to enjoy what you've found is very enjoyable in shooting sports.
Right, because nobody wants to be the butt of everybody else's jokes. Nobody wants to be made fun of, and nobody wants to be scared. And so doing that for your humor, it does not benefit anyone. Yeah, it doesn't benefit our sport. It doesn't benefit you. None of it. There's no winning in that situation. So Ken Campbell, Gun Sight Training Academy, giving us guidance on buying a gun, how to pick one, and how to pick your friends so that you can pick a good one. We'll be back right after this.